Number 42, Bill Baltimore. Number 43, Vitaly Kuznetsov. Number 44, Alex Trahai. Number 51, Pasha. Number 52, Kirill Dinosaur. Number 53, Alexander Kickoff. Number 54, Dennis Rock. Number 72, Alicia Hanikoff. Number 73, Sergei Lozenko. Number 74, Delia Lovekovic. Number 80, Max Rodolov. Number 81, Victor Release. Number 82, Igor Mandelhoff. Number 83, Max Hanikoff. Number 84, Alexander Bulldog. The head coach is Dmitry Bulldog. Number 10, Jim Stinninger. Number 11, Henry Schmidt. Number 12, Jerry Wilson. Number 13, Stephen Black. Number 14, Daniel Williams. Number 20, Stinninger. Number 22, Ryan Simon. Number 23, Roy Height. Number 24, Corey Shields. Number 30, Alex Stinninger. Number 31, Sam Hutchins. Number 32, Harry Hughes. Number 33, Chad Easy. Number 34, Mike Morris. Number 40, Larry Rector. Number 41, James Birkenbaugh. Number 42, Ryan Hasker. Number 43, John West. Number 44, Tom Henderson. Number 50, John Schaefer. Number 51, Jonathan Patrico. Number 52, J.R. Owen. Number 52, Brian Lanshaw. Number 54, Mike Burkle.
Come on, Mikey. Come on, come on.
Noah Simonette. Number 62, Rick Manning. Number 63, Scott Bonato. Number 64, Jim Masson. Number 7, Matt Allen. Number 71, Brad Rogers. Number 71.
What's his number?
Brad Wojciak. Number 72, Matt Kovai. Number 72, David Knapp. Number 73, Javon Edwards. Number 74, Ryan Miller. Number 75, Scott Braden. Number 76, Brendan Flake. Number 80, Adam Gerhardt. Number 81, Chris Huckenball. Number 82, Casey McCullough. Number 90, Barry Presley. Number 91, John Dixon. Number 92, Eric McClyman. Number 93, Adam Peck. Number 93, Kyle Brown.
Come on, Kyle.
Number 94, Number 95, Nate Baker. Number 96, Daniel Edwards. Number 97, Andrew Oak.
Come on.
Get back!
Number 73, John Seeley. Number 51, Pat Braker. Number 68, Harvey. Number 91, Frank Hazelwood. Number 76, Brian Leon. Number 94, Danny Holden. And the head coach, Dennis Rock. It's already been done in the first game, so we're ready to play. Bring it to have a nice hand again, folks.
Bulldog! the game 2. It's the Friendship Bowl, 1996. Gary Clark with me to my right. State Senator Bob Robbins here to help us out. And Senator, first of all, a glorious week and a glorious day. And game 1 unfortunately goes to Russia, but except for the kickoff of game 2, this is a great week for this whole Russian Meadville exhibition.
Oh, it's been an outstanding week, but I think most importantly is the last couple of years of hard work by many Meadvilleites to put this on, and we'll talk about them as the game goes on.
We certainly will, and the Meadville team will kick off here to start things off. And that is John Dixon, the linebacker, set to kick. And we will actually have a 100-yard field this time. 80-yard field in the first game, Little Gritters game, but this game will go with the full 100 yards. They kick off from the 40-yard line, and Dixon will kick off for Meadville. Here's a low line drive kick, taking about the 15-yard line, stumbling around there, and picking up, that's Kurbanov. And Kurbanov gets through the hole and gets up over the 30-yard line to the 35, making the 36-yard line. It'll be first down. That is Yuri Ignatkov. My pardons. I thought it was Kurbanov is number 30, Yuri Ignatkov. I understand that this football team, Bob, can really throw the football. I understand that the team from Moscow is pretty tough.
Well, in watching that first game for the 5th and 6th graders, they did a nice job, and also had some backs that had good speed.
Yeah.
And I think as Yuri showed on his return there, straight up the middle, he had pretty good speed.
Well, you talk about the Russians that have played other sports, and something Ken O'Keefe talked about earlier this week. That's one of the things the Russians did very well. They had great speed and great agility. These are some great athletes, and now Savriko brings to the line of scrimmage the I formation. They'll hand it off up the middle, and stopped up there is Yuri Ignatkov.
Well, there might have been a fumble, but they recovered. Looked like he might have dropped the ball there, and then
they're going to call it second down, though, so it must have been after the play was whistled. Yeah, Chris Achenbaugh, who a name familiar with Meadville players or Meadville fans, in on the tackle that time, along with Eric McClymans. So that's one thing, if you talk about these Russian teams, getting back to that, you look past at the hockey teams and all the, and basketball. They're now playing in the NBA and the NHL. So it's only a matter of time before these kids learn the game and they're going to end up playing football in the NFL. And again, that is Yuri Ignatkov, and he's twice touched the ball. This time he'll get 6 yards on the carry across the right side of the field, and it'll be second down and just about 5 yards left to go. 6:17 a running clock, first quarter. Friendship Bowl 2 from Allegheny's Robertson Field on a sun-drenched day today on July 4th. What a great parade this morning. We had the opportunity to be in the parade. What a beautiful day today.
Well, it has been a great, beautiful day all day, and all the events that have been planned have been extremely well attended, as this football game is, with standing room only.
Yes, sold out, and of course people across the way as well. So a good crowd on hand at Robertson Field. And one thing I want to mention, the Moscow, 12 million people in the city of Moscow, 1 million in the township where this team would be from, where we have 14,000 here in the Meadville area. Here's a hand up the middle. The ball is loose. It's fumbled and picked up. And who's got the football? I believe Moscow will recover the football. A red jersey on it, he does. And it's going to be considered fourth down now. And again, that one nearly picked up by one of the Bulldogs, but I see we have almost all.
Stinninger came in there, number 30, very quickly, but wasn't able to get there in time.
So we look now at fourth down, and nobody back just yet. Boy, this crowd is just huge, and a crowd enjoyed the first game. I see overhead the Legal Eagle. That's Ted Watt's balloon is floating by too. So we've got the whole thing going on here in Crawford County today. We don't need I guess the overhead cam doesn't have to come from the blimp today, huh? We're in game 2. First game, 28-0 Moscow. In game 2 here, Moscow with a football on a fourth down call, 4th and 2. Yeah, behind the line of scrimmage, that's Savriko, and he will look to hand it off. And there's another fumble and loose, and it's going to go to Meadville anyhow as Anton Paramanov recovers the football on a kind of a mix-up on the exchange. Looks like he's a bit injured. I'll tell you, Bob, in the scrimmage game at Bender Field a couple of nights ago, I guess the big news was some of these Russian kids weren't quite used to the American kids the way they hit when they play football. And, you know, these are kids that go out and hit when they play football, and Russian kids aren't quite used to that yet.
Well, they're not. They've been practicing for about a year, as I understand it. But, of course, over there, when it's not a sport that other teams are playing, you don't have a lot of competition.
Exactly, but of course, one thing they have learned is the Allegheny method. And Meadville comes to the football now on the offensive side of things, and that's James Burkbile. He is the quarterback for the Bulldogs in that familiar Bulldog location. And there's a hand up the middle, and that is, I believe, Alan Stinninger. And he is knocked down the line of scrimmage, maybe got a half a yard. But you'll see the usual, and Coach, from being from Greenville, Bob, you're going to know this formation. You've seen this before. It's the same. You see when you play Meadville and Greenville, they play the same formation each time with the wing back and the man in motion. They'll do that a lot here from Meadville. But a few changes this time. Bob Power Jr., former Westminster Titan, has taken over some of the offense. I got to get Westminster there somewhere. And he has taken over some of the offense here, so you may see a little different look in the offense. Here's a hand up the middle. And the ball's loose, so he holds on to it. A first down run by Meadville's Alan Stinninger. He is inside the 35, down to the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Meadville. We'll finally get a little bit of opening down there, and Meadville's second play from scrimmage here.
Yeah, nice blocking on the right side of the line as they opened a nice hole. Allen just about fumbled that. He bobbled the ball at the end of the run, but was able to pick it up and actually kept it in his hands and made a nice gain of about 11 yards.
And remember also, another Greenville connection we want to make sure to mention, Coach Ken Ockenbaugh of Meadville, of course, is a former Greenville High School standout as well. And he is down the sidelines today helping out with the team. They've had a great week, and they've had a lot of NFL experience and help. Here's a handoff off left tackle, and the Bulldogs, that is Dorian Heist, and he'll get a couple of yards on the pickup. A gain of maybe 3 yards on the play. Second down, we'll call it 7. 2:42 to go, running clock. First quarter, scoreless, Meadville and Moscow from Robertson Field. Gary Clark and Senator Bob Robbins with you this afternoon. Our thanks to Ray Horner. This afternoon do the play-by-play, he and Jack Michaels, and we have the honor of doing the second game play-by-play. 2:24 to go, the clock runs, and Meadville puts the man in motion. Burkbile rolls right, he's going to tuck it underneath. He puts a little stiff arm on, he's then out of bounds inside the 20, the 24-yard line.
Great fake, he put the ball on his hip, and the Moscow players lost it for just a couple of seconds there.
By the way, the jerseys you see these players wearing, I thought it was the Buffalo Bills jerseys at first, but they are donated by the NFL. And NFL Films has been here for a couple of days. I see them roaming around the sidelines. And they're talking about the great press they've had from the paper, the radio station, the TV station here in town. Everybody's come out to help out with this, and it's been a great community effort here, and something that really has drawn this community together.
Well, it certainly has, and with the NFL being involved, obviously there's going to be a national recognition. In fact, I've seen it in several newspapers across the country.
Matter of fact, the New York Times had an article in today. By the way, on the gain, Alan Stinninger got a couple of yards. He did get first down, though. It's 1st and 10 at
on the 21-yard line.
Yeah. So he just got a couple-yard gain, but enough for the first down. And 1:30 left to go on a running clock here in quarter number 1. Yeah, this is not done yet. You know, they have the band going to be up here this afternoon afterwards. As a matter of fact, after the game, Wicked Licks, which is a rock band here in Crawford County, will be here. And then the presentation of the NFL Experience video tonight as Burkbile hands off, and one of the Bulldogs, that is the Rector, I believe. Larry Rector, he'll get a couple of yards on that play.
He got a couple of yards, but the Moscow interior line there broke into the backfield and mixed that play up a little bit.
They're impressive, Bob, watching this Moscow team. They're pretty impressive watching them play a little football here. I mean, they're not afraid to go out and hit a few people.
Well, they're not, and they have some pretty good sized linemen on that defensive line.
A little more equal the first game. You know, they talked on the radio about in the TV about Moscow being a little bit bigger, but this time around, Meadville pretty much matches up on the interior line anyhow. Burkbile will hand the ball off this side. Again, that's Stinninger. He's going to get about a yard or two. It'll be third down. Off tackle play on the right side. Needs something to get this crowd into the game, get Meadville our first touchdown of the day today. We're looking for it right now.
Well, it certainly was. And number 30, Yuri Ignikov of Russia did a nice open field tackle there to stop number 30 for Meadville.
So 30 on 30. And Ignatkov, you know, I mean, great names they bring over. And the only reason they elected me to do this game, by the way, is because I did a Russian hockey game one time. So I think I should know my Russian, I guess.
Well, I never have, so you're in trouble.
So we're all in trouble right now. Berkbauer will move left and look to tuck it underneath for the Bulldogs. He will tuck it under, and away he goes inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. And he dragged a couple people with him that time around. James Berkbauer, the quarterback, he was looking to pass the football that time. Nobody opens. He tucks it underneath the left side and takes off. And it's going to be a first down, I believe. It is going to be first and goal for the Meadville Bulldogs, 7th and 8th grade team, as time has expired here in the end of the first quarter.
Tell you, he's done a great job of faking, and twice now he's just laid the ball on his hip after it looked like he'd handed it off, and he was out there all alone for a couple of seconds before the Moscow team realized he still had the ball. He's done a great job.
Yeah, this whole the whole concept, I think, has been kind of interesting to watch all this happening and all this unfolding in front of us, and what a great way to end the week. Friday night, a lot of the players here. I was up at Allegheny College, Bob, and I saw the dinner up there, and the kids getting to meet their families first day, and they all, you know, and these families from Meadville community, they had more families than they needed to take these kids in, which was great to see that. And every family took 2 kids. Plus the dancers were here, and they had the big thing going on this week at Allegheny College. It's been just one of those weeks that really, it's nice to be a part of it.
Well, it certainly isn't for the Moscow young men. It's quite an experience. I was over there a few years ago, and they don't have the housing available that we have. So believe me, it's a unique experience for them, and they certainly most likely can't understand the square footage that we have per family in this country, and the huge yards and other amenities.
Yeah, I guess one of them we're talking about, you know, just, you're right, the countryside, the trees, the yards, people out mowing their lawns, and everybody having a lawn to mow. We talk about a township of 1 million people and packed into a size of township of, say, the city of Meadville. We're looking at a lot of people stuck in the same place. So we get set to go for the second quarter now, and Meadville to football, and a first and goal inside the 10-yard line and the 7-yard line. James Berkbauer, the quarterback, will bring up to the line of scrimmage. Larry Rector is his fullback, and that is Alan Stinninger at the running back position. Check, that's Ryan Simmons. And handoff is to Simmons, and Simmons flips underneath the tackle. He'll get maybe a yard or so, make it 2 yards, and make it 1 yard. And it'll be second down. And a flag was down the play, and we have a
face mask
penalty against the Russians. And that's something that they get used to. I guess one of the scrimmage, one of the problems they had with the Russians were face mask, mouth guards, and getting them on and off the field on time. And they had problems with that in the first game too. But you're bound to have that with little gritters here in the 7th and 8th grade. Looks a little bit better. But they will get the half of this in the goal line here. It's going to be inside the 5-yard line. It'll be first and goal from the 5. And we get set to go with 7:51 to go in the half. At halftime, we're going to have with us, through interpreters, the sub-prefect of Moscow, the northern segment of Moscow, I believe it is.
Northern, probably in Philadelphia, relate that to a ward leader,
okay,
or a councilman of an area. But again, northern Moscow is where they've started the football program and have the interest.
Fumble in the play. Berkbauer gave it the football, and a great tackle in there by Max Penkov, the linebacker, and the Russians recover the football. So the Bulldogs come up empty inside the 5-yard line in a first and goal situation, and Moscow will take over here. A July 4th Independence Day, and of course tonight also here at Robertson Field, they're going to have a great fireworks display they have set up ready to go. We'll be having that going on as well. That comes up later on tonight about 9:45. Check that, about 9:53 it says here, if we go by the exact schedule. All right, so the Moscow team will come out to the football at the 7-yard line, 8-yard line. They'll take over. 7:14 to go opening half. And again, not many crowd has left this football stadium. I thought maybe we'd lose a few after that first game. especially we got beat 28-0. Go out for being good hosts. Is that it?
Well, you had a few people leaving, but at the same time, a light number were coming in. I just think it's such a beautiful day. There's so many things going on. And, of course, with host families, you have American families that really have a connection now with the Russian team.
I guess I hadn't thought of that. Also, by the way, you know, opening today, Klein Lake Park reopens today, too. And they were going to go ahead with the reopening today at noon, so that was underway today. Just a busy day all around Crawford County today. And I said there's a big parade up in Erie County this afternoon, too. And we have an illegal procedure call against Moscow. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty here. What exactly is going on here? I think we're going to...
I think they're going to give the ball back.
Yeah, I think they're going to get the ball back to Meadville. I think they're going to call an illegal procedure call on Moscow.
Well, they don't have their team on the field yet.
And a timeout is called by the Russians. The Red Army has called timeout here. But Meadville's got the football. The goal should be first and goal inside the 5-yard line, down the 3-yard line right now. So it must have been a penalty on a call on that. I think the interesting, Bob, to watch the first game, I had a chance to watch a lot of cheerleaders, you know. Well, that's what I do very well anyhow. But I watch these girls down here from Russia, a different look to them, a different way to do things. I don't know. I guess they were doing their cheers in Russian. It sounded a little different to me.
Well, for us it does. But they were also the dancers that they've had throughout the week. And they've done some, to me, some just beautiful folk dances of Moscow. And I think, again, to share the culture. But, you know, one of those events that has occurred several times over the week. And they did today in the band shell in the square. It's just beautiful.
Oh, did they? I didn't get a chance to see it this morning. I know that Mayor Petruso was instrumental in making sure we had the reception on Saturday night. When you were there, and we had all the girls dancing, and they sang some folk songs. They sang some American folk songs, which sound a lot different. But they were saying that the kids over in Russia are big rap music watchers. All right, we're back to action now. The Bulldogs will hand the ball off. Check that. It'll go on a keeper. Birkbeil scores a touchdown. The first Bulldog touchdown of the day goes to James Birkbeil, the quarterback, off left tackle. With 7:04 to go in the second quarter, and Meadville a 6-0 lead after the penalty, and they end up on a 3-yard run.
Well, it's interesting on the sidelines, number 13, Savrico, the other quarterback, he was not happy with that. They're getting into the American spirit, not liking the opposing team to score on them.
But you wonder how you get friendship through football, though. Someone mentioned to me today, you know, how many cities you've seen get along through football. Take, for example, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. They, for some reason, doesn't work.
Green Bay and Chicago Bears.
There's another old rivalry. They'll go for two now. Birkbeil under center with the full backfield. Birkbeil roams right. He'll go long ways right around the corner. He's in for the 2-point conversion. It's 8-0 Meadville. James Birkbeil has all 8 points. And the Bulldogs, with 7:04 to go in the second quarter, have taken that lead and looks a little more fairly distributed as far as talent in this game.
Well, it certainly is, and the size is, as you said, on the lines up front, very even.
He gets a 2-point conversion as well, so Meadville's 8-0 lead, and they will kick the football off here. At halftime, out on the field at halftime, they're going to have all of the punt, pass, and kick winners from today, which was going on up here as well. And just a perfect place to have it. And the nice thing about it was they didn't charge anyone to get into the games either. It was all free. So if you're down there and you want to come up and watch second half and catch the fireworks tonight and the band and everything, please come on up. It's all free. And that's another nice bonus thing. And now they're out to raise some money for next year, $200,000 to send our kids over to Russia for a week or two. They said the biggest part will be the plane fare, I guess.
Well, there'll be the plane fare, and of course they'll probably get housing. When I was over there, I stayed with a family. In fact, I stayed in the building that the very first McDonald's was in Moscow. But
only fitting, I guess, with John McCartney McDonald's donating the $20,000 to the cause here as well.
Well, it certainly is.
How long ago were you in Moscow?
Well, that was about 3 years ago. I had the opportunity to go over for 10 days, and great experience. The food's a little bit different. I tell people, you're going to go over, you go over for an adventure, not a vacation.
Pack your lunch. Is that the idea?
Well, you got to pack pack your lunch and you make sure you take certain things that aren't common. Okay, there's the kickoff.
All right, and the Russians will pick it up. That's Ignatov, and he goes around the other side. Ignatkov's off into the races. He's going to go 78 yards for a touchdown. No flags down. It's 8-6.
And I'm going to tell you, we had
Ignatov can really run.
And you had two big linemen. Looked like they collided on the 50-yard line. Number 51 for Moscow and 75 for Meadville.
That's Pasha Kane and Scott Braden. A couple of kids collided.
They knocked each other down the 50-yard line.
Well, he made a great move around left end that time, and off he went. And suddenly it's 8-6, 78 yards. And they'll go for 2-point conversion here. They're giving signals out now. These Russian teams, I'll tell you, I understand that, I talked to Rich Nagy the other night. He's assistant coach here for Allegheny, and of course is the brother of Charlie Nagy, the great pitcher for the Indians. But Rich Nagy told me that they organize their practices for them. They showed them how to organize this, and now they know how to do it without any help. So they really taught them well, and they've taught them it says like a mini Allegheny up here, and that's scary how good the record of the Allegheny Gators have been the last couple of years.
Well, it certainly is, but I don't know of a more outstanding person to get to start a program and to help than Coach O'Keefe from Allegheny College. What a great gentleman he is.
Yeah, and he's done so much work for this whole program and takes no credit for it. Does not want any credit for this thing at all. Here's the 2-point conversion attempt. They'll hand it off from back behind. That's Kolov, the tight end, and down he goes. Tripped up in the backfield. Good play by one of the Meadville kids. Let's check the number on that. I believe that's going to be Casey McClellan, 82, and Meadville stops them there. 2-point conversion fails. 8-6 Meadville now. 6:51 to go, and that's in 2 games. That's 2 kickoffs. 1 punt, 1 kickoff that Moscow scored a touchdown on. So they really got some good speed out there and those good athletes. If you don't think they can run fast, you ought to see them skate. When you watch them play hockey in the NHL, they really can motor. And I watched the kids that played here in Meadville a couple of years ago against our hockey team here. They could really motor too on the skates. They were some same idea here, but I think that was more of an antagonistic atmosphere. We brought them in from Pittsburgh for that game because we thought they were from the Pittsburgh kids, so we went after. But here, it's going to be tough for these kids to play each other like this too. They've been friends for a week now, and then they got to go out and play each other on the football field.
Well, it certainly is, but I think both cultures are fairly aggressive when it comes to games, and particularly in winning. And Moscow, the Russian people, they have a pretty persistent personality, and they like sports like football and hockey.
Yeah, you're right. They like contact sports. Basketball has become pretty big over there too, but hockey, they took to it and really have dominated the sport in the world competition the last couple of years, as they have also. They started to now in some other sports as well. We get set for the kickoff from the 40-yard line now. 6:51 to go, the second quarter, and we said the sub-prefect will be here. Here's a kickoff by Meadville, deep, and again, Yuri Ignatkov. Ignatkov goes this side, and he's wrapped up nicely by the Bulldogs, Ryan Astor. Inside the 25, the 22-yard line. Good play by the Bulldogs. Good pursuit that time around this side. And, the Russian kids trying to show some speed, but Meadville showed some speed that time as well. Yesterday, since we do have a state senator sitting here, I guess I'll ask you a political question. Yesterday, Boris Yeltsin wins the election again in Russia. That's a good sign because, the paper, I got a kick out of one of the articles the sports writers had written. I think Dominic Lorenzo had written it. It said if the answer to the question was D, if Yeltsin didn't win, they're looking for a good place to stay over here and maybe raise a family or two or go to school. Yeah. But a big win for Boris Yeltsin yesterday, as the Bulldogs did a nice job in the backfield. That's Schaefer making the tackle in the backfield for the Moscow Red Army over the Meadville Bulldogs. So 6:14 now, we're running clock. 8-6 Meadville over Moscow, and we'll get a chance to ask the prefect a little bit about the political climate, I guess, in in Moscow, as we'll have him on today at the half of game 2. 28-0 in the first game. Moscow wins game 2, 8-6 Meadville, 5:57 to go, and Burkebile brings his team up to the line of scrimmage inside their own 20-yard line. This is at the 19-yard line. And Burkebile will keep running, turn around right side, and he'll get about 4 yards on the play, make it 6 yards, and back past the original line of scrimmage. And he is going to end up on a 3rd down call here, about 3rd and 8 for Meadville. So Burkebile, remember now, folks, Meadville fans, you're probably looking at the future of Meadville High School quarterbacks. We look down the road here in a couple of years, you'll see Burkebile, I'm sure, running the Bulldog varsity offense someday for Meadville. So this is a chance really for us to get a scouting report on the Meadville Bulldogs over the next couple of years.
The Moscow defensive line is starting to take charge and get penetration. They did it down on the end when it looked like they had recovered the ball on the one end. And on this series, they've gotten in the backfield a couple of times.
Meadville calls a timeout this time, so the Bulldogs will get a timeout. Remember now, if the sun goes down, we don't have any lights at Robertson Field. This is strictly a college football Saturday afternoon kind of thing, and it's getting an early start to football around here. But, you know, football is... I guess this sort of proves that the real great American pastime is football now, huh? I think baseball's done.
Well, I think football is one of them, but there's those people out there that tell you it's auto racing.
Oh, I thought it was wrestling. I had you up here. I thought maybe we'd be talking about a Japanese wizard by now, or, you know, after all those wrestling matches you've watched over the years. I've seen my last. Thank you. They will get set to go here, a 3rd down call. It's a big 3rd down call for Meadville, too, with 5 minutes to go in the first half. And I like the ball girls they found here. I guess they're the water girls. They get them all out there. So I see them and then Burkebile will drop back the pass roll this way. He's in trouble, and down he goes.
On about the 18-yard line.
Max Penkov is there to make the tackle. And a loss of 6 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down now, and Meadville will be forced to punt the football with 4:43 in the running clock here. Look down the sidelines, and they've got somebody else warming up down there. That's Alexander Fedosov, the other quarterback, who's warming up down there right now. I understand this kid can really pass the football, this Fedosov. They may bring him in somewhere down the line here.
Well, that's in the 5th and 6th grade, the quarterback they had. He was putting that ball, 30 yards down the field for a 12 or 13-year-old.
Yeah, and the problem was his receiver weren't catching the ball. That was the only problem. We will punt the football away, and that is Steve Scott, I believe. Is that right? And it's blocked. Now, hold on. We had a penalty, I believe, in the play. Is that?
Well, I'm not really sure, but the punter thought there was, and then he decided to kick it anyway.
He ran into somebody, and I don't think that guy's in too good a shape now. I think that was Dyachkov, and he's bent over right now. He doesn't look like he's, for 52, looks like he's had his problems there. Now the officials are out there talking to the coaches. If the coaches are not there, I have no idea, but it's a little different. I guess a little different here because they're not used to seeing these guys. They're not used to playing football games quite like this, so they're going to have a lot of leeway in this kind of game. Thank heavens.
Not sure what to call. I guess they're going to let them have that play over.
I guess they will. I believe there's no rush allowed. Is that what somebody said? No rushing allowed? No rushing by the Russians, I guess it is.
Well, probably in this game with only 2 weeks practice, at least for the Meadville people, they do not allow rushing.
And the ball flips over the head of Yuri Ignatov, and Ignatov with the football around the end and tackled there by the Meadville Bulldogs. And ahead of the play is Dorian Heist, the man who tackles him. And Dorian Heist, I believe, also a wrestler, and sounds to me like he's the son of Bob Heist in the Tribune. So if he is, I know he's a wrestler, and he got him down at a good single wing takedown that time.
Well, and they're on about the 43-yard line, so they're going to start with very good field position.
Yes, but considering where Meadville was and where that ball started off on the kick, it almost hit someone right in the face mask about the 20-yard line. So I guess that the 42 is not bad, but again, Moscow will start there with 3:03 to go on a running clock. Remember, clock does not stop for possession. Now, Back in there for Meadville, number 20 is in there. That is Chad Stinninger. He's not real big down there. And look, he's matched up down here against Baznuov down here in the at this end. Handoff, other side, stopped up nicely by Andy Hoke.
Yeah, and he dropped him for about a 2-yard loss.
And running the football, Alexei Cherney for Moscow. 2:27 to go, running clock now. 8-6 Meadville, 2nd and 12 now. Ball on the 46-yard line, so a loss of a couple of yards. And I see the NFL has their new slogan signs out here too. The "Play Football" sign they put across the across the way. That's their new one. And the snap of the football and back to pass. Quick screen pass near side, far side rather. And Casey McClellan will have no part of that. He nails the receiver right then and there, and probably a loss, still a loss of or maybe a gain of a yard or two, but that's about it. Screen pass well set up, but well diagnosed by the Bulldogs.
Well, and the quarterback, number 41, James Burkbile, he got in there on the into the face of the quarterback very quickly.
And he's playing left end too, so I mean, he got a good quick jump on that off the snap of the ball. And Meadville's got a little bit of quickness they're showing off. But that kid that plays center for Russia, for the Russian team, pretty big kid, 6'2", they say.
Well, I heard 6'2" and 200 and some pounds. So he is
I'm
big.
not surprised. That's Pasha, by the way. His name is Pasha. Pasha Kane. And Pasha Kane's a big load in the middle, but Meadville's got a couple of big kids in the middle too. I'm looking at Scott Braden and a couple other kids that are some pretty good sized kids they put in the middle of Meadville. Also Kyle Brown is no slouch either. Both of these teams making a lot of substitutions. Burkbile comes out now, as does Chad Beige. And a timeout by the Russian team here. A lot of timeouts trying to get things straightened out.
And I think it's very good that it's very cool tonight. Excellent evening to be playing the football game, and I think that'll help. On injuries, if you'd had a typical hot day like we've had, it would be a little different. But just a beautiful day for football. Great weather. Couldn't have it any nicer.
And you see on your television there that they are down talking to the officials, the coaches, and telling them how many timeouts they have left now for the Moscow Bears. I love the T-shirt design they put together for this thing. The Allegheny in the background with the Meadville Bulldog and the Moscow Bear in the forefront. A neat idea for the T-shirts they put on here.
Well, I think, again, mentioned it, but everybody that's been involved in this really needs to be commended for the outstanding job they've done. I mean, this is certainly very first-rate, first-class, so the way it should be done.
Yeah, and Meadville, as I said earlier, has really come together. I think really Crawford County as a community has come together for this, and a lot of people have gotten involved in it, and they've had a lot of fun. The businesses have a lot of fun here in downtown Meadville with it too, and welcome the Russian kids in. And next year, sending our kids over there, they're going to send about 100 people over there. And again, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to have fundraisers and doing a lot of work for it, trying to come up with some money. Need $200,000, and they got a good start. $40,000 they've raised already, so they. Now, I see them down talking to Ken O'Keefe, and the officials are talking to them down there. The Russian coach is trying to get a translation. Ken Ockenbaugh is down there. I'm not sure what they're discussing, but they're discussing something as far as.
Well, and part of it is they're really probably learning the game.
Yeah, and really how many times they have good officials that know the game, like. I won't go as far as say good officials in the area, but yeah, they are good officials here, and they know what they're doing. I'm sure the Russian officials are learning the game as the kids are at the same time. But what better way for the Russians to learn football than learn from the kids up, 5th and 6th, 7th, and 8th grade kids? This is where you have to start your programs.
Talk about refereeing. I had a referee one time, made a bad call, and I jumped on him, and afterwards, everybody said, that was a bad call, wasn't it? I said, yes, and he said, well, go ahead and pick up the game. No,
okay, all right, we'll get to it here momentarily. Get ready to punt the football, and I think they're discussing the no rushing rule on this 4th down play. No, they aren't. They're not rushing at all. Meadville has not moved a bit, and the Bulldogs will get the football. That's Alan Stinninger. Stinninger goes right side, And on the short side of the field, down the 22-yard line. Now, Bob, you were saying?
Well, and he asked me how many other bad calls he made, and I said, mentioned, I think, 1.5 others. So he said, I checked in a wrestling match how many instant decisions he had to make. It sounded like he counted an average of 389 instantaneous calls that a referee has to make. He says, that's not a bad percentage, is
No.
it? 2.5 out of... And, from that point on, it really did change my whole attitude. And in most games, there'll be a disputed call, and that's part of the game.
Yeah,
but
that's
most of
right.
it, they do a great job, and they keep control of it.
99% of the time, and I'm sure that in Russia right now, they're not running at 99% accuracy level with their officials. They're learning the game at the same time. Meadville's football outside the 20-yard line, 21-yard line. Now they'll start out with 19 seconds to go and running clock in the half. 8-6 Meadville, last play of the half probably, and Burkebauer goes down. And just a handoff on a gut play up the middle for Meadville, and Rector handles the football, and that's going to do it. The clock runs out, end of the first half, and Meadville has an 8-6 lead at halftime. So both teams will head to the locker room here at halftime, and a good solid first half. Meadville looked good.
Well, Meadville in that first drive did an outstanding job. The last part of the half, though, the Russian line, Moscow line, started to control the line of scrimmage, and I think that's been the difference. And, of course, we saw the speed of that one touchdown kick return. So I think it's going to be a great second half, and we've had a good one in the first half.
Ignatov with a touchdown, 78-yard touchdown on the kickoff after Burkebauer's 3-yard touchdown run and 2-point extra conversion. A 2-point extra point is the difference in this football game right now. And we're going to have shortly the sub-prefect from Russia here, Bob, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him. He is on his way up with Mayor Tony Petruso, who I see is down below down there right now, and get a chance to talk to them a little bit about the climate going on and the whole idea of getting here to Meadville. But I see the kids aren't even going in here. The Russian kids aren't even going in at halftime. They're sitting out in the field out here. Now they're going to lead them. They are going to lead them back in, I guess.
Well, I think they're probably enjoying the whole event. They don't want to miss any of it.
I don't think they're used to the heat that we have here, though. I guess over in Moscow, I understand it's not quite as warm as it has been, but this is a perfect weather today.
Well,
I mean, this is in the 70s.
This is a perfect day for a football game, and they've done an outstanding job.
And I see the Russian girls are out there as well right now. They are doing their
I see Yori's trying to find out a way to come up here. And he's also a Russian cosmonaut.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
National hero and an active one.
And a football fan, I guess.
Well, and a football fan. So wonder if when he's been circling the earth, is that the opportunity he got to watch American football?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Well, I know that NCAC a couple of years ago, Ken O'Keefe took a team of all-stars over there, and they're so impressed with Ken O'Keefe and his team. They asked them, this college team beat his professional team, and they asked them to come back over and teach them. And this is what is the culmination of those 4 years of effort, ends up with this football game. And I was somewhat blown away when Ken O'Keefe told me a couple of years ago they would have come this year to play football in Meadville. It was fun and hard to believe, but it has come true. And again, as we mentioned earlier, what a great job by all these folks to have this all done up so well. And really the community came together in the last minute in a lot of ways. And by the way, special thanks to Ben Maselli and his entire parade crew. They did a great job today. That parade, packed house, big crowd today. Nice to see that.
Yeah, it was an excellent parade. And as you said, large parade, and also
85 units.
Thousands of people watching the whole way along the parade route.
We are awaiting here they come up now. We have to get the interpreter in as well, so we will get a chance here.
And he'll be the one with his NFL film T-shirt
That's right.
on.
That's right. That is Victor, and he's been. This is the second time here for him, so get a chance here. All right, gentlemen, come on, everybody, come on down. First of all, Mayor Tony Petruso is here from the city of Meadville wearing his shirt, and I'm not sure we can get everybody down here. We'll try to stick everybody in together down here. We got sort of our booth that's sort of stuck together. Tony, would you introduce our guests?
Yes. With me, I have Yuri Marchenko, who is the president of the Children's League of American Football, and Victor Kochargan, who is the interpreter, but also the president of Foreign Links, which has played a vital role in this project because of the fact that there's a great deal of interpretation of the Russian language that needs to be done in order for us to communicate not only the game of football, but all the political aspects and all of the governmental aspects of putting this project together.
All right, let me first of all ask you, excited about the game, a big win the first time around for this Russian team, and what'd you think of the first game?
Мне понравилось.
Impressions of the game are great.
Of course, a win is a win, right? We were talking about this on the air. Very competitive, these two teams against each other, and that's part of the Russian, the American people, very competitive people.
Игра такая была очень достойных соперников. Это обычно происходит между русскими и американцами.
Ну, мы приехали издалека, и ребята настроены только на победу.
We've come from afar, and our kids are fully determined only to win.
And as they seem to be here too in Meadville too. Let's talk about the week that was a great week here in Meadville. I know you guys had to enjoy it. We really enjoyed hosting you folks.
Как тебе понравился прием здесь?
Ну, мы уже сказали много слов благодарности, еще долго будем и говорить.
We've said a lot of words of gratitude to the people who are hosting us here, and we'll be saying the words of gratitude for a long time.
Let's talk about Boris Yeltsin and a huge victory for him and really for the democracy in Russia this week. Maybe you have a few comments on that.
Ну, я остался доволен, что наш народ сделал такой выбор. Я думаю, что это правильно.
Yuri says he's quite satisfied that our people made such a choice, and he thinks it is the right choice.
Now, let's talk about next year. What are we going to do next year? What do you have on tap for us over in Russia as this team goes over there?
Как готовится Россия принять американских детей у нас?
Мы постараемся, чтобы этот прием был, во всяком случае, не хуже, чем нам оказали здесь. Приложим все усилия. Но в будущем, я потом еще добавлю.
We'll organize it so that American kids, when they are in Moscow, they will feel themselves at home like our kids feel here.
В будущем году мы будем праздновать 850-летие Москвы, и мы как-то постараемся приурочить эту поездку к этому выдающемуся празднику.
This trip of the American kids to Moscow will be right in the period when we are going to celebrate the 850th anniversary of Moscow, and it will be a part of the celebration.
I understand that this is partly financed, your trip over here, through the Russian government as well, and that had to be something that really helped out with the whole trip.
Вопрос идет о финансировании, то есть что правительство Москвы спонсировало поездку сюда.
Да, значительный вклад внесло правительство Москвы и спонсировало эту поездку. Ну, я потом еще добавлю.
So the government of Moscow supported us and sponsored this trip. So he goes on.
Is this your first trip to America?
У меня нет, у меня третий.
No, it's for the third time he's here.
What surprised you most, and what has been the biggest surprise for these kids about America and Americans?
Что больше всего удивило детей в Америке? Что на них произвело наибольшее впечатление?
Ну, я думаю, что у них такая масса впечатлений, что даже трудно какой-нибудь из них выделить.
Время должно пройти, да, чтобы они...
Да, они все это должны будут переваривать и оценивать.
Well, they are full of impressions, and it's impossible to say to say which particular thing impressed them most of all. It takes time for them just to lay it in their heads, to think it over, and only after that they can say what particularly impressed them most of all.
I have to tell you, it's getting easier for me to do interviews with the Russians when you're here. We've done a few of them together now. Thank you both for being here, and good luck to you in the second half.
пожелал удачи нам, поблагодарил за то, что я переводил, и как ответное слово.
Ну, я хочу еще раз сказать слова большой благодарности американским людям, как здесь проявили удивительное гостеприимство в Мидвилле.
Yuri says that he's very grateful to the American people who are hosting us with open hearts.
И особые слова благодарности мэру Петруса. Удивительная организация и тренировок, и жизни, и культурных программ.
And special words of thanks to Mayor Petruso. It was mainly him who made up all that. Cultural program, excursions, etc., etc.
Gary, I might add that Yuri will be coming here in March to go to Houston to train at the Space Center. He's a cosmonaut in the Russian space program, and he will be here for 3 months. And we hope to get him up here while he's staying in Houston to pay a visit to Meadville again.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. That is our thanks to the Russian gentleman for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Mayor Petruso. We get set to go for the second half of today's game.
You've done good.
The boss here, he tells me how to do my interviews, and he's done. Thanks a lot, Chief. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, what did it? Yeah, well, we'll ask him that next interview, okay?
We'll do that the next one.
Thanks a lot.
Well, there's 23 seconds now to go until the half starts. But it's kind of interesting. The Moscow kids, the Russian kids sit down there, and they stayed on the field and huddled up, and you can see the coaches talking to them. Let me tell you, it didn't look any different than a group of midget football American kids on the local field getting ready, for the second half.
I'm not surprised by the Russians' abilities and their ability to play the game. I guess I'm mostly surprised by their. I'm not surprised by their athleticism, but I'm surprised by how well they're able to play this game like the Americans do.
Well, they're doing an excellent job, and if they continue, as I said at the end of that first half, controlling the line, which they did the last part of that half, the Meadville boys are going to have to come out and pick up the action in the activity on the line if they're going to win this football game.
Well, what we need to do next year, we're going over there. We lose this game and we end up going over there. We need to forget the birth certificates and bring a couple of our varsity kids over and see if we can clean some clock over there, all right? We don't like to lose the Russians no matter how we look at it. And let's see, looking at some of the full house we have here at Robertson Field. A gorgeous afternoon, as we mentioned several times. It's just beautiful out. And I think the crowd really enjoyed it too. And they have been into these games. And I see we're going out for the second half discussion now. They have to have the interpreter out there as well, and I know.
Well, the whole process
Victor had to
here
run out there and help out with that too.
Well, the whole process here has been quite interesting because there's a lot of people here. They're also, in reality, not paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kind of like a carnival, a fair atmosphere here, and the people are just enjoying a great day out.
And they're enjoying getting a chance to talk to each other and see each other and be out and about in the summer. And we have not had except for maybe one morning of a few sprinkles. We haven't had much rain all week. The kids aren't going to figure out why we have green grass here. We never have any rain.
Well, we've had plenty this spring into the summer so far. Also noticed the numbers. The number of Russian boys right now is a lot less than they had for the 5th and 6th graders. But next year, when you hear though, all those 5th and 6th graders that were out there, they're going to be at the 7th grade. About half of them are going to be in the 7th and 8th grade level. So
it makes me a little nervous to watch them play next year. The way they pounced on us this year, 28-0. They beat the 5th and 6th grade team. But the 7th and 8th grade kids in Friendship Bowl 2 are up by the count of 8-6. We get set to go here for the second half of football. Gary Clark and Bob Robbins with you this afternoon. Friendship Bowl 2, and of course the fireworks to follow later on tonight. And our thanks to our halftime guests, the Russian contingent, and it's true, it is getting easier to interview them with the Russian interpreter as we go through. I've done it so many times now. We get the kickoff underway, and the Bulldogs will pick it up here at the 20-yard line and up straight ahead. And boy, it's a loose football, and the Russians have it.
Well, they certainly do, and that was a good tackle on the football.
The Russian kids have it. I'm not sure. I believe Chad Beige was the one that carried the football.
Well, I believe number 30 for Russia recovered that.
That was Yuri Ignatkov, and he's the one that scored the touchdown earlier. So, well, the good news is we didn't kick off to him anyhow. So they can't score that way, but they get the football inside the Meadville 35, 36-yard line now. 1st and 10. I'm not going to try to estimate the crowd. It's a full house, a standing room only crowd anyhow here for the both games. 7:53 to go, second half, third quarter. And here's the handoff goes this side, and that is Ignatkov. And Ignatkov is loose, but one Bulldog to tear him down. And there he is. That is Chad Beige.
Well, he's still going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards.
A good reverse that time, sort of a reverse handoff that time, as Ignatkov, I thought was going to go the other way, and he did a counter play and got loosened up here. But Beige there to make a good play, 5 yards down. As you mentioned, 6 yards down, really. So 2nd down and 4 yards to go, as the Russians look to, in the shadows of the evening, descend on Robertson Field, try to punch it in for the go-ahead touchdown here at the 30-yard line. Still in there is Dimi Savrico. He is the quarterback. And that is Ignatkov in the backfield, along with Kurbanov, the fullback. And he'll go back to pass now. He throws it down the middle, man open, intercepted by the Bulldogs. And around the other side, Alan Stinninger, and there are flags down everywhere, but Meadville's got the football, but hold everything. We'll check the penalty markers.
When Alexei Panikov made the stop.
Well, we got flags everywhere all over the field. Let's see what they are as they confer here. Holding on Moscow. It's going to be Meadville's football. The Bulldogs will decline it and have the football back.
And I'm going to tell you, if number 51, if he's in 6-foot range, he's well over 200 pounds, and that's the center for the Moscow
Asher
team.
Kane, yeah. He's a big kid, isn't he?
He is huge.
And it's going to be Meadville's football here. 1st down and 10 at the 21-yard line. So a big break for the Bulldogs. Interception is Savrico put it up in the air, and a good pass, Bob, but just a little overthrown, and the Bulldogs there to pick it off. Stinninger was sort of playing deep, but just sort of playing a center field safety position back there. He's in the backfield now behind Burkbile, and Burkbile handed the ball off to him, and he's got the football and across the 27, 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3 yards to go, 6:24 to go. Running clock, 3rd quarter, 8-6 Meadville over Moscow. Friendship Bowl 2 on Armstrong Video, Armstrong Cable Services, Channel 23. Yeah, I'm trying to get them as I go along here, guys. And the Bulldogs on a 2nd down and 4 call. It is ACS Armstrong Cable Services, by the way, their new name. And here's a handoff to Stinninger, other side, dragged down from behind by one of the interior linemen. Get a number on that truck.
A couple.
That was Alexander Gruzanov in on the tackle. And we'll go 3rd down now and 2. We got a couple of yards on it, maybe 3 yards. Both teams sub, and I'm amazed to see how organized, Bob, they are on the Russian side about getting the kids on and off the field. They've done a good job with that.
They certainly have. Coaches are doing a very good job from that point of view, and in a year they've learned a lot.
And they look like Allegheny College kids running on and off the field. It's sort of like the Allegheny method, too. Burkbile under center will hand the ball off to Stinninger. Stinninger is knocked down, a gain of none. It'll be 4th down and a big call here. We're going to lose a yard, perhaps. And it's going to be a big call here for the Meadville Bulldogs. Well, I think it's a mark. It's sort of not good for Meadville to have the no rushing on the punts, because I think it would be a definite advantage for the Bulldogs to have to be able to rush the Russian punter. I think it would probably favor Meadville, but because they haven't had a chance to practice that much, they've decided not to do any rushing.
At this age group, I think it's a very good thing, or you probably wouldn't have any punts at all.
Yeah, you would just keep running the football up the gut all the time. Well, let's say in Meadville, they're going to punt the football away. That is Andy Hoke. I believe that is in the... They have about 30 people listed as number 97, but I would suspect that it's Andy Hoke. See the listing of 97s they have down here? They have enough of them. Here's the punt. He gets a good one away. It's across the 45-yard line, and there to pick it up is Ignatkov. Ignatkov is knocked by the Bulldogs backwards, and that was number 40, Larry Rector, the man that hit him first down there and knocked him backwards, but he'll have first down at the 46-yard line now to start things off at the Meadville 46-yard line. 3:58 to go. And
yeah, that was Mike Birchill that really laid the hit on him. Nice open field hit.
So Meadville gets a little defense and it's certainly a little defensive game. And I see number 14, Alexander Fedosov, is again warming up at the sidelines down there. I think he wants to get a little action at quarterback. Yeah, he's just a little guy, but he can really pass the football. Good athletes from this Russian team. Is finally we're going to get the Alexei Pankov to get back in there now. He's a big kid too. We don't have any size on these guys, but they've got a couple of kids over 6 foot tall.
Well, I know the size of a couple of the coaches, and the ones we've been talking about, they're as tall as those coaches.
Yeah.
And they look, as they say, they're over 200 pounds.
None of the kids are quite as big as Ken Ockenbaugh, but they're getting up there anyhow. Russians with the football, and Zavriko will drop back the pass. In trouble now, will scramble the football at the 40. He's close to a first down, and out of bounds it goes. Short of a first down to be a 9-yard pickup for Dimi Savriko, the quarterback. And the Russians, with 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter, have a 2nd down and 1 call.
Well, 2 Bulldogs get in there. I didn't see their numbers, but they got in quick, but they didn't curtain them, and were unable to get the tackle, and he broke to the outside for a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, dropped everybody back in that zone coverage, looked like, and he took off around left end. Fast kid, too. You know, Zavriko, pretty quick kid, and they got a good arm, plays quarterback. Number 13, I guess the Russians aren't too worried about the bad luck number 13. At least Zavriko is not anyhow. In the I formation, the dot the I is Yura Ignatkov. He has got the lone touchdown on a kickoff return. And instead, he'll hand off the front man. That's Alexei Chernai. And Chernai gets maybe a yard loss there. And it's going to be a 3rd down call here. 3rd and 2, make it 3 for the Russians. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. That time, Chernai was just stomped by the Bulldogs at the line of scrimmage or right in the backfield. Deep handoff. And Meadville showing a little quickness getting off that line, getting in that backfield in a hurry. Again, the I backfield, and this time it is Alexei Chernai to dot that I. Man in motion right to left. He'll set up strong side left, and they will hand the football off, and the Bulldogs there to wrap them up.
Well, he got met by the Bulldog line there. There were 4 the defensive line on him, and looked like 1 more got there quickly thereafter.
Yeah, Birkbeil was about the 4th man in, and they had 3 interior linemen just stand him right up. It's a big 4th down play now with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. This is the 7th and 8th graders. Look at number 51. Pasha Kane comes off. He is just a load. He's a big kid. That's a lot. You're right. He's got the 240 pounds. I don't know if he's 6 feet tall, but he's got clearly got the poundage on him. So on 4th down, they will punt the football away, it looks like. The Bulldogs have a couple of men back deep. Chad Stinninger is back there. And I believe that's his brother Alan back there as well. 1:23 to go, and a good chance for the Russians here to pin the Bulldogs back. The Bulldogs a 2-point lead here. Remember, no rushing on the punts. It's a good left-footed punt off. This is Alan Stinninger at the 10, 15. Oh, knocked down nicely at the 15-yard line. That was Igor Bazanov of Russia at the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Meadville. But there's a bit of a hole here as they'll try to dig themselves out. Up 8-6. Another touchdown is what they need here. A touchdown, 2-point conversion would pretty much put this game where the Bulldogs wanted with a quarter to go. It's going to be tough to come back. 10 points, 2 scores.
Well, it certainly is. And number 20, Chad Stinninger, probably the smallest on the field, at least but he was out there giving it everything he had.
Kid is fearless out there. You know, he's a small kid against the big 6-footers out there. Bulldogs pitch back this side. That is Larry Rector, and Rector out across the 35-yard line, or the 25-yard line, 22-yard line, check that. It'll be 2nd down now and 5. Rector with a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, quick pitch out to the left, probably the type of thing that they need to do right now to open it up.
Sort of get that. They've worked the middle pretty well. Now it's time, as you say, to maybe go on the left and right sides of the go wide. 33 seconds to go, 30 seconds to go now on a running clock in the 3rd quarter. See, the wind's picked up a little bit, a little breeze. It is moving left to right across your television screen. And with the final 18 seconds, this will be, with Burkbile under center, this is going to be the final play of the quarter for the Bulldogs. And Burkbile pitches back. This is Stinninger. Stinninger far side will get maybe a yard at most. And 5 seconds, and that's going to end the 3rd quarter here. 3 quarters complete from Robertson Field and Friendship Bowl 2. Friendship Bowl 1 went to Russia 28-0. But game 2 has Meadville up 8-6. Well, the 3rd down call here. 3rd, maybe 3.5 yards to go as they'll switch ends of the field here. And I'm not sure, you know, I think one of the things you watch the Russian kids, they're not sure at the end of a quarter exactly what's going on, and they have to be shown a little bit. But once they figure it out, they know when the football is height to go hit somebody. They know that's how the game works. As you take a look at Robertson Field and we happen to have a monitor up here so we can see, and the pictures you're getting are just gorgeous as we watch these Russian kids gather together with their coaches. And they're going to toss the water bottles around, and they will. And I'm not sure what it says, what that word is they have in the back of the coaches' jerseys there. I thought for first it was names, but I think it is. I don't know whether it's Moscow or what it says in Russian. I can't read Russian too well. I can barely read English. So final 8 minutes up on the clock here. And the fireworks going to be held right here. And you parked on the main parking lot, Bob. Pretty good sized crowd out there, isn't there?
Yes, it is.
You're way back, huh? I'm
way back, clear on the edge of the trees, the last line over. And that was only because somebody left.
I forgot to tell you to come out and park on it, but there's no room back here either. I tried to find a place back behind. There's no room there either, so.
This is one that obviously people came early and they've stayed all day and they're having a great time.
And they're going to stay late too. They have the band afterwards, I mentioned, and the fireworks at 9:45, and get a chance to come on out and see the firework display here at Robertson Field, put on by the city. And the Friendship Football Group. Here's Burkbile on the 3rd down, runs this side, and Burkbile's going to get loosened up. And I believe he's got a first down. He does at the 40-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 Meadville. As James Burkbile, he's got some speed, and he's a big kid too. A little size to go with it. We're going to see him play quarterback one of these days for Meadville, but of course right now, sophomore Miles O'Shea has been the man to play quarterback for the Bulldogs. He played as a freshman last year, will play as a sophomore, will continue on this year. So a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, and as that clock continues to tick, that means Meadville's got the lead and the football in the final actually about a 7.5 minute drive here to kind of end things up.
Well, in their first drive, the quarterback, Burkbile, did most of the carrying of the ball, and maybe they need to get back to that. Well, another quick pitch out and good run.
This is Rector this time with an 8-yard pickup up the middle, Larry Rector. Yeah, that's that patented Meadville pitch too. You pitch it out and cut back inside. Larry Rector with the 8-yard gain on the play. Make it 9 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 1. And Rector's a pretty good sized kid too. As again, if you're to watch this game, knowing the Meadville Bulldogs, this is a chance for you to watch the future of the Bulldog program. And I think the future looks good for Meadville football anyhow. And they've done a great job with the younger kids, Little Ritters program, and the 7th and 8th grade football, and the junior high, and the JV and varsity teams. And Burkebile is going to call a timeout now. The Lions saw he didn't like it. And Ken Achenbaugh heads out to gather around his kids. I don't know, a couple of those kids look about as tall as Coach Achenbaugh does out there, too. Must be the helmets and the cleats. Is that it?
Well, that helps.
Yeah, lots of signs spread around the around Robertson Field, too. More signs than they even have they would normally have during the Allegheny games. You wouldn't see that quite so much. Maybe at Bender Field during the Bulldog games, you see the signs, but they have a couple of them in Russian, as a matter of fact. This is Meadville Bulldogs and friendship games, Meadville versus Moscow, and the whole atmosphere has been just fun to be around here today. And it's kind of the kids are maybe very competitive on the field, but off the field, not much competition going on. Mostly just, as you said, a party atmosphere, people enjoying themselves and each other, and a lot of folks here.
Well, you followed most of the events that went all week. I know they had scrimmages. What are some of the other activities they had?
Well, they had the scrimmages going on, as you mentioned. We also had they had a couple of receptions going. We'll talk about that here after this play. But Burkebile under center now on a 1st and 10 call, second and 1 call for the Bulldogs. He will hand it off to Rector, and Rector nearly has it stripped away, but he still holds on the football and gets 7 yards on the carry out near the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 Meadville with 6:44 to go, running clock here. I think the clock stopped now. And they will, I'm not sure why they stopped the clock on a run, but they get it started again. Yeah, they had the big dinner on Friday night. Art and the folks at KFC had that done, and Art Kokolin and John Kokolin has done all the concessions here too. All the money raised here is going to go towards the program as well. And Art put on that meal for us the other night. Here's a pitch back to Rector this side, and Rector is stopped up there by 3 or 4 Muscovites. And down he goes, 6:16 to go. And then Saturday night, of course, the Mayor's reception here in Meadville, and boy, that was quite an evening too. And then Tuesday night they had the big concert, a well-attended concert, I understand, at Allegheny's Schaefer Auditorium, where they had some folk singing, folk music, and folk dancing going on by the Russian kids. And of course, every day, 2-a-day practices. And then during the course of the week on Tuesday, they had the big press conference. The NFL was there, and they had several NFL players had come here. Brian Stabline, among others. Brian of the Indianapolis Colts and former Erie McDowell graduate. I guess once you're a graduate, you can't be a former graduate. Here's Burkebile, runs around this side. Burkebile gets loosened up and out of bounds, close to a first down. He's going to have the first down. 1st and 10 inside the 43-yard line, the 42-yard line, and Meadville has another first down. Brian Stabline, as I said, once you're a graduate, you never are a former graduate, so I guess he is a graduate of McDowell High School, the former McDowell Trojan. That's what I meant to say. 5.5 to go and a first down for Meadville here. Kind of odd to see the officials out doing football in shorts. I guess you don't see that too often, do you? More like soccer officials now. Some of these guys don't have the legs to be out there doing that, but they got the regular crew of officials out here, and they've done both games here too. And the Russians have taken a timeout here. They're going to talk things over. And again, the press conference on Tuesday, Bob, a nice crowd, big crowd up here. And of course, they had some of the Steelers come up, and they actually gave them some pointers here and there, and they worked the practice with the kids in the morning. It was a nice chance that Chad Brown was over and showed the kids some techniques.
Well, that's an exciting experience for our own kids, not just the Moscow boys.
And Marlo Perry was here from the Buffalo Bills as a linebacker, and he was here to answer some questions. And of course, a lot of press were here. New York Times had a big article this morning, I understand. I didn't get a chance to see it, but there's a big article this morning on this whole Friendship Bowl. And the media coverage has been outstanding here. And Pittsburgh TV was up here again on Tuesday. And Youngstown and Erie Television have been here. And, of course, the local radio station and newspaper. The newspaper's done an outstanding job. Every day they've had a listing in it of what goes on exactly each day. And so everybody can go to it. So they have the open practices. You can go watch them practice together. And they had a good time. And, of course, it all culminates in today's football games. And not really, I don't know, I guess not really the football games, but the whole atmosphere of the party going on here in Meadville. It's Friendship Bowl 2, and the Bulldogs on a 1st and 10 call. Here's Burkebile, who's done the quarterback the whole way. Here's Rector, who handed off and ran to his own man. Otherwise, Adam Gerhardt was in front of him, but otherwise he would have had a big gainer. He gets a couple of yards anyhow to be second down now with 5:20 to go, running clock, and an 8-6 Meadville lead. Neither team has scored here in the second half. Second quarter, 7:14 mark. Burkebile, a 3-yard run, the 2-point conversion to follow by Burkebile. And then at the 6:51 mark on the ensuing kickoff, Ignatov ran it back 78 yards for a touchdown. And that's where we stand now. It's 8-6. And the big play, I guess, in the game so far was Meadville stopping them on the 2-point conversion. Second down and 9. Here's Larry Rector. Takes off left side. He's going to get maybe a yard. It'll be third down. And Ken Aukenbaugh is getting excited at the sidelines. You know, and Bob, over the years in the radio station, I've had a chance to roam the Meadville sidelines with a microphone. And Ken Aukenbaugh gets pretty excited about a football game. Even though it's against the Russians in a friendship bowl game, he's still pretty excited about this one.
Oh, it's impossible not to.
Yeah.
But Meadville team has now gone back to the fakes and the handoffs up the middle, and they're not doing as well as when they were doing the quick stuff to the outside.
So there's some open territory, you know, they have, but they seem to be, the Russian kids have been closing on them pretty quick here. 4:15 to go, a 3rd and 8 call, and Burkebile takes another timeout. Here comes Ken Aukenbaugh in the field. We'll talk to his quarterback and offense. Yeah, you know, Ken Aukenbaugh had said that he can't take any game. All games have to be exciting for him. You know, he has to get excited about all these games, but I've watched him over the years stomp the sidelines, and, you know, and he's fun to watch on the sidelines. I remember him down in Titusville one night, and after they won a big game, he turned around and ran over to the band and thanked the band. Said, "You guys did a good job tonight." He got a chance to hear him that night because they were close by. So it's nice to see that. Ken Aukenbaugh has been a great coach of this Meadville Bulldog team, the whole program. And it's a big throw for the 7th and 8th graders to have the varsity coach come down and coach them too in this football game. So it's nice to see that. And Ken Aukenbaugh's got his team up right now with an 8-6 lead. 4:12 to go, and the clock will begin to run again here at the snap of the football. Burkebile under center, 3rd and 8. Burkebile will wait. He'll hand it off. Rector is stopped up right there. He'll go nowhere, lose a yard perhaps. That is Nikolai Lushkin.
Well, like the first half, the Moscow team is starting to control the line of scrimmage now as we get into the last 4 minutes.
It may be too late for him, though, is the problem. They will get the football back now. 4th down, and Meadville will punt the football away. And the Russians will send very dangerous Yura Ignatkov back, and he's got the lone touchdown. He's at the 20-yard line. He'll stand back there. Remember, he ran the kickoff back for a touchdown the first game. The Russians ran a punt back for a touchdown. He is set to go. They will punt the football away, and again, remember, there'll be no rush permitted by the teams on the punts. Here's the punt, gets it away. It's a dandy too. He's going to back him up inside the 12, 10-yard line. He fumbles the football at the 5. He picks it up at the 5. He gets outside the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's gone. He's going to go 96 yards for a touchdown. Yuri Ignatkov.
Now there's a flag on the field.
And there's a flag down back at the 20-yard line. I didn't see it at first, but I see it now. Flag on the field, a 96-yarder after he fumbled that football away.
Well, and a normal flag like that on a kickoff or a punt return is normally a clipping.
Yes, it is.
Or holding. A clipping usually comes in there, but we'll have to wait and see.
And the referees are gathering now, the officials, the other end of the field. And he's got Burkebile. He's going to talk to him now. It's going to be on the Russian kids, too. So one thing they may not have learned about in Moscow, they learned about here is going to be, it's called penalties.
And it was a clipping call on number 34.
It is a clipping call on Roman Kuznetsov. And Kuznetsov will whistle for the penalty. They're going to take it all the way back and will nullify a 96-yard punt return for a touchdown. It would have been the second special teams touchdown for Moscow, but instead, that pretty much deflates a team, doesn't it?
Well, but I'm going to tell you, for the Moscow 7th and 8th grade roster, that'll be in their highlight film next year, whether it counted or not.
Whether we see a yellow flag in their version or not, it'll be gone, yeah.
Yeah, the Children's League of American Football will have a highlight film, and I know of 2 plays that are going to be in it.
Yeah, we saw 2 of them tonight that are going to be in it, and that's one of them. That was their other touchdown. So 8-6 Meadville, 2:48 to go. And at the 9-yard line, they're going to mark the ball. And that's where the penalty occurred, so that's where they're going to mark the football at the 9-yard line. Actually, it occurred, I believe, right outside the 20, 25-yard line. Yeah, they go back 15 yards, right? You got to remember what the penalty distances are here in the 7th and 8th grade games compared to college and professional. So we will have a first down now. But you know, if you watch this Ignatkov, he can really scoot. You got to watch him because if he gets around the end, he could be gone again. You never know. I mean, this kick can really fly.
I think I'd almost get into position to let Meadville kick off or punt to us again.
Yeah. I see Ignatkov is on the bench now, too. They're letting him sit it out for a while.
I don't think he's tired. He wasn't slowing down.
Well, the Russians taking a timeout. Well, the Bulldogs will gather around assistant coaches. And
2 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the game. And right there, the Meadville Bulldogs really dodged the bullet.
They certainly did. 96 yards later, as soon as he dropped that football and picked it up, I thought, oh, if he gets around that end, we could be in trouble. And boy, he was flying once he got around that far end. But it's all for naught as they'll bring it back here. See the folks from NFL Films, you see them, they're down there with their cameras and boom mics, and they're going to do this is going to be, and by the way, ESPN's going to, I understand, going to use as part of a special of Outside the Lines later on this fall. They're going to use part of the film from this game. They've been up here to do the filming too. NFL Films is used.
I was going to say, I hope they use that film.
Yeah. They're not using us, don't worry, Chief, we're all right. The only people going to hear us, and by the way, rebroadcast Monday evening again too here on Armstrong Cable Services, CTV 13, Channel 23. You folks that have been out of town for the weekend. All right, we get set to go now, and this is Dimi Savrico. He hands up the football. Up the middle they go, and a gain from Russian Kurbanov, the fullback, gets a first down. We're close to it. It is a first down. It is the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Russians with 2:32 to go. And the clock gets underway again here. And again, Dima Savrico will bring his team up to the line of scrimmage, moving right to left. High backfield, the Allegheny-style offense. He can open it up and throw the football, too. He does. He's losing the football and taken down nicely by Andy Hoke. Number 97 for the Bulldogs in there to do some damage and slam it behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss with 2 minutes to go now in the contest. And a second down and 82 yards to go. That's how far they've got to go to get the touchdown. So huddle up again here, and they got to pull something out of their little playbook. I don't know how much they've got in their Ken O'Keefe playbook here, but they better get something out big. This reminds me of Allegheny against Westminster this past year, when Allegheny went out with 2 minutes to go in the game and threw an 82-yard touchdown pass for the win. Let's see if the Russians can pull off that. They've got the Ken O'Keefe offense in, the Allegheny offense. And this is Dima Savrico. Will hand the football off. Fumble, picked it back up though, still has it. That is Yuri Ignatkov, and boy, you think he's on artificial turf bomb, and ball bounced right back up to his chest. But 1:03 to go. And a timeout.
Heads-up play by him as he was able to recover, and he kept his eye on the ball.
Wow. Yuri Ignatkov, who has been the star for the Russians today, and a timeout called by the Russian team with 1:02 to go in the football game. So from here, these teams will get ready for next year and play over in Moscow. And I'm not sure we'll have quite the American crowd over there, but I'm sure the Russian crowd will be about as big. But they got 1 million people in their township. I think we'll see quite a few people over there, too.
Well, and I think there'll be a lot of interest and curiosity. But I think at this point, I'd be using the quick pitches to the outside to that young man
Yeah, once he gets around the corner, he could be gone. So any play could be the big game winner for them. So it's right now 3rd and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And as I said earlier, 80 yards to go with 1:02 to go in the contest. And a big 3rd down play here. Really, of course, just 2 downs left. Severico under center. High backfield. Here's an end around play. They'll hand it off to Kuznetsov, the tight end. He gets a 1st down. And the clock will run with 54 seconds to go.
Good ball handling there. Froze the defensive end of Meadville Bulldogs, and he got caught flat-footed.
And I see Ken O'Keefe down the sidelines helping out down there for the Russian team. Hey, wait a minute, a defector perhaps in our crowd, huh? He's trying now to set the clock up again with 52 seconds to go. And they need to get a play off real quick. And they haven't started the clock. Now they start the clock. And back the pass. Severico in trouble. Burkmile after him. Burkmile's got him. He tears him down. James Burkmile with 37 seconds to go for the Bulldogs. Is that Darius Hughes?
Yeah, they ended up with 3 Meadville Bulldogs in there.
All right.
Burkmile slowed him down, got a hold of him, and then the team came to help.
So the biggest play of the game, perhaps, will be 2nd down in about 1.5 miles. And that's going to do it. The final 10 seconds. The Russians trying to get one more play off here. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. They get the play off. Pitch back. Around the end. Back this way. Look out. Pulled down by the Bulldogs. Game, set, match, Meadville. Casey McClellan with the final tackle. And Bob, an exciting game, but the Bulldogs win it by an 8-6 count with no scoring in the 3rd and 4th quarter. But good game for these two teams.
Oh, it certainly was. It was an excellent game, very competitive. And I think all sides and everybody involved in this whole event have to be very happy and very pleased.
So Meadville wins this one by a final count of 8-6, and they score the 2nd quarter on the Burkmile 3-yard touchdown run. And remember, there's a penalty on that play, the play before that too. Otherwise, Meadville would have lost the football in the fumble. They get it back, they score the touchdown, and the 2-point conversion on the run by Burkmile, a 2.5-yard run. The 78-yard Ignatov touchdown run on the kickoff, ensuing kickoff. 2-point conversion was failed, and the final score is 8-6 as we look out, and these two teams gather as one together. They get talked to by the coaches and interpreters out there in the middle of the football field. So quite a day indeed for these two cities. Moscow and Meadville come together in 2 great football games. 28-0 in the first game. Moscow wins it, and Meadville comes back to win game 2 by a final of 8-6. Bob, a pleasure doing the game. Thanks for coming up.
Well, thank you. And again, a great day for Pennsylvania, northwestern Pennsylvania, and of course Meadville in particular.
Yeah, what a wonderful week it has been, and what a culmination. And they'll begin tomorrow morning. They begin trying to raise the money for next year, $200,000 what they need. And they're going to try to put some things together, some fundraisers together, and try to pull off taking the kids over to Moscow next year. So
well, also, our local people should remember the president, the person that started all this, Russian cosmonaut Yuri Malenchenko, who will be, I guess, in Houston doing training with our own space center. And, of course, he is still an active cosmonaut and a hero in Russia.
Look at this. The Russian kids are going to take a bow. What a nice idea. That's their way to thank the American people, the people of Meadville and Crawford County.
Well, I think they've had a great time.
They sure have. And this crowd, all on their feet to say thank you to the Russian kids, too. You're right, a great time for Northwest Pennsylvania, all of Pennsylvania, and of course, especially the city of Meadville and the folks here. And a nice ovation for for all the kids out there, for both the 7th and 8th grade this game, and the 5 and 6 year olds, the 5th and 6th graders. And I think we got something to be afraid of next year, this Russian team. They almost beat us this time, and they did win the first game. They only won the second game.
Well, and they certainly have, they've learned the fundamentals. They've made a few mistakes, but at this age, they're right there with any other team that's out there in this age group, and they're doing an outstanding job.
All right, so for Bob Robbins, this is Gary Clark. Our thanks to all the camera people and all the folks here at CTV 13, Channel 23, Armstrong Cable Services, as Meadville wins Game 2 of Friendship Bowl by a count of 8-6. Thanks, folks, for tuning in tonight for the game. And, of course, don't forget the fireworks go off tonight at about 10 o'clock here at Robertson Field. A great day for the Russians and the Americans. Friendship Bowls 1 and 2. You can label these two games a huge success. Next year we head to Moscow. Maybe they'll invite us over to go to Moscow. I doubt it, but just in case they do, we're ready to go.
Well, we can always hope, can't we?
We sure can. For Bob Robbins, this is Gary Clark. Have a great night, folks, and happy 4th of July.